Good afternoon, class. So today is 22nd of October, and we will have to cover the current affairs of today. And please remember, these are some of the starting lectures that we are going to complete. So you will have to basically cooperate with me on one factor that these lectures are going to be comprehensive, in which I will try to basically explain every part of whatever has been happening. Okay. So over the time, what will happen? I think by the end of December or January, by the end of December, probably around about 25th or 26th, the lectures will be more brief. They will not be as comprehensive as we will run, because up till that particular time, if you are listening to the lectures every day, you will have a certain form of base that you will be able to basically exploit, and you will be able to grow. Okay. तो शुरू में आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू विल हैव प्रॉब्लम विद रिगार्ड टू द नॉलेज दैट इज मेंशन इन द हिंदू, और हिंदू पढ़ने में अपने आप में इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट पेपर, सो यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू बेसिकली अंडरस्टैंड इट इन वन गो. So that's why we have picked up the Hindu, so that a clear understanding of whatever has been happening in the paper is understood by you or is provided to you, and with that we will try to relate the concepts of the basics or the basic concepts or the principles that are needed. Okay, so let us talk about first one is the climate meet in the Glasgow. So there are 3 or 4 things that you firstly need to learn. I hope you understand that there is a climate change that is currently existing. I will only give you that information that is relevant for the article, and over the time I will be keeping or will keep on adding the information. So with this newspaper, you have to make your notes. You have to take the underlying points. If you do not understand anything, please go on the internet and search what that particular term means. Okay. If you are not able to understand any of the concept, because I have already read it multiple times, so they are just, I think, fixated in my memory, so I can tell you that these are the things that are basically said by this particular meeting. But as you are starting with the newspaper, so it will be very difficult for you to basically learn about the things. So if I will try to explain as comprehensive as possible, but even if after that there are certain things that are left out, you have to do the hard work, because without hard work there is nothing that you will be able to remember in the paper. Make notes according to your own understanding, according to your own form of, you can say, what important points you have taken from that particular article. Okay, so let's start. First one is the PM to attend climate meet in Glasgow. First of all, climate change we have already understood. The long-term variation with regard to the climate of a particular place is called as the climate change. So basically there are 2 forms in geography. One is weather, one is climate. Climate is basically a long-term average. So for example, when we talk about the climate of Chandigarh, it is hot and humid climate. When we talk about the climate of Shimla, it is basically a type of a cold climate. But weather can be rainy in both the places. It can be rainy in Chandigarh and it can be rainy in Shimla. So weather is a day-to-day phenomenon. The variation with regard to the climatic activities in day-to-day phenomenon. However, the climate is a long-term phenomena that is over of 25 years or beyond than that. I hope this is clear. So what we are talking about climate change. Climate change, when we talk about, we generally means that earlier this particular place was on an average, let's say the example of Shimla, at 25 degrees Celsius, but now it is responding to, let's say, 26 or 27 degrees Celsius. So that is a concern. Why it is a concern? Now, please remember, with regard to the climate change, earlier also climate change happened in the history of the earth. But this time, why it is worrisome? Because this climate change is induced by the human factors. What does we mean by human factors? Now, human factors, the biggest contribution is the carbon emissions. Carbon emissions, what does carbon emissions mean? Whenever we burn a compound that contain a carbon and it is released into the atmosphere, that leads to the greenhouse effect, and this leads to the overall increase in the temperature. Okay, so there are greenhouse gases. We will go into the greenhouse gases in the environment. For the sake of this article, you just understand that carbon dioxide, if the quantity of the carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere, the temperature of the atmosphere will also increase. If the temperature of the atmosphere increases, that means the climate of a particular place will also, in form of temperature, will increase on the upward side. I hope this is clear. So what we are debating about containment of the carbon And how the containment of the carbon can be done? The first principle, as you already know, we can switch from the non-renewable sources to the renewable sources. That is petroleum, coal, fossil fuels, whatever are available in the market, we can switch over to the renewable sources such as water, wind and sunlight. That is the main broad theme of the climate change we are talking about. But climate change has been in talks year and year after every conference of parties that happened. So what is a conference of party? Conference of parties is just association of the groups of countries who have decided that we need to have a joint action against the climate change that is happening in the world. So that is what they have been doing. Now, please remember, in that there was Kyoto Protocol that was agreed in 1997, and in 1997 countries agreed. Please remember, countries agreed that there will be a objective control and intended declaration of how much carbon emissions they will cut. Okay, so the negotiations were going on from 1972. They came formulated in 1992, took place in 1992, and finally the shape was given in 1997. In 1997, as there was lot of disagreements between the different countries, because some were saying that you had polluted environment majorly. Just for example, we already know that the industrial revolution happened earlier in the state of USA, UK and the European nations, and the African and the Asian countries or the South Asian countries had not much to do with the climate change. So the developing countries accused the developed countries that, see, you polluted this particular atmosphere, so you have to take more responsibility in cleaning that particular mess. So there were different kind of disagreements. I will not go into all the disagreements because then it will defeat the purpose of reading the paper. We will talk about these disagreements in the environment class. But I hope you got an understanding that what is happening between the countries. I hope this is clear. So in 1997 there was Kyoto Protocol. In Kyoto Protocol it was decided that whenever the countries, if they are not agreeing, they should declare the targets from themselves. What does that mean? That means that if there is a no common understanding or principle of operation, let us give a chance to the countries to declare how many carbon emissions they want to cut in a particular year. I hope this is clear. So every country was basically asked to give a target on which they will be operating. So India gave a particular formulation of 3 targets. The first target that India said that we will have renewable capacity, or 40% of the total energy will be developed from the renewable sources of energy. That is the first target India set for itself, that by 2030, 40% of India energy need will be coming from the renewable sources of energy. Secondly, we talked about that we will create a carbon sink of 2 to 3 billion tons of CO2. What does it mean by carbon sink? So I told you, carbon in the atmosphere directly proportional to the increase in temperature. So if you suck up carbon from the atmosphere and you store it in a particular sink, just say for example, you store it in ocean, you store it in underground facilities, you store it in coal bed methane, जहाँ पे भी हमारे पास coal bed seams हैं वहाँ पे. So there are different ways to basically take up carbon or extract carbon from the atmosphere and then put it into a place where it is called as carbon sink. Okay, we will talk about what are different kind of carbon sink in the environment. But please remember, this year's Nobel Prize has also been given for the existence of, or the models which determine the existence of carbon or how much carbon is existing in the atmosphere. तो इसलिए इसको याद रखिएगा, कार्बन ये जो environment वाला topic है, this is going to be very important topic for this year examination. So you have to read it thoroughly. We will provide you the information thoroughly, but I hope you understand what kind of things we are building here. So every year in October, basically these countries meet. They decide on what further process are needed to be taken for the containment of the carbon. Now there are multiple things that are happening in the containment of the climate change. So the first thing is the net zero emissions. That is basically formulated by the countries who are developed nations, China, Japan, Australia, UK. What these countries are doing? These countries are basically saying that we will become net zero by 2040, 2050 or 2060. What does we mean by net zero carbon emissions? That is the amount of emissions we are producing and the amount of emissions we are consuming will be equivalent. बोलने का मतलब क्या है कि मान लीजिए आपने 100 गीगाटन्स कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस करी, तो आप 100 गीगाटन का कार्बन सिंक भी बनाएंगे. ठीक है, अगर आपने 200 गीगाटन प्रोड्यूस करी तो 200 गीगाटन का कार्बन सिंक भी बनाएंगे. ठीक है, दैट इज नेट जीरो एमिशन. output or input, if you subtract both of them, they should amount to zero. That is the thing that they want to do. Now, US is basically pressing hard against India. India is already saying कि देखो यार, pollution तुमने करा. Kyoto Protocol, in Kyoto Protocol there were different mechanisms, and under different mechanism there was an agreement that is very important for India. There were 3 or 4 major agreements between the developing nations and the developed nations, but the one agreement that is very important for India is the developed nation have basically promised that 100 billion per year will be provided to the developing countries for mitigation of the environmental change, for adaptation, or for the economy that they have suffered. India says that you have promised us 100 billion from 2020, and this particular promise that you have made is still not fulfilled. And now you want to change the goalpost that is highly unfavorable to the countries such as India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and you do not rely on your word. So that is the part of India. US says, on the other hand, that see, you are the 3rd largest polluter of the world. India says in counter. India says that let us also count my population that I have to feed. I have 1.3 billion people, and with per capita emission, I would probably below 100, at about 100th rank or 102nd rank. So you also have to see the per capita population that I have to feed. You are seeing the totality of the population, a totality of the emissions that are being conducted by me. So please get your act right on that particular part. Other than that, there are other countries who are talking about climate financing, who are talking about aid, who are talking about private financing. Everybody is basically taken up that how you help the developing nations basically to create a mechanism in which they are not much affected with regard to the situations, impact of carbon climate change. As you can see the situation in Kerala. Every year there is a devastation in Kerala. It is only because of the monsoons that is creating havoc in Kerala. Because of the climate change, the monsoons have some form of erratic behavior that the local communities and the local governments are not able to control. You have been seeing different kind of floods in Bihar. You have been seeing the floods in the case of Uttarakhand. So these are all things that are currently happening. These are the things we need to control. Okay, coming to the next topic. The next one is that do you want to revisit the 8 lakh rupee criteria? Now, first of all, why this is important? I hope you remember 2 years back in 2018, there was a reservation that was extended by the central government under the economic weaker section. This was approved by 103rd Constitution Amendment, and 103rd Constitution Amendment basically led to 10% quota for the economic weaker section students in all form of jobs and employment and or whatever the employment opportunities that are available for them. Now this was challenged in the Supreme Court of India. In Supreme Court, the 103rd Constitution Amendment was challenged on the context of the Constitution. Please remember, Indian Constitution does not provide reservation on economic criteria only. If the reservation had to be provided, it can only be provided on social and economic basis or the backwardness of a particular class. Please remember, the concept of reservation is not tied to how much money the people are earning. Okay? It is tied to the historical wrongdoings that are basically conducted against them. So for example, there was SC and ST community, they were ostracized, they were beaten up, they were not allowed to basically secure the educational, you can say, courses, they were not allowed to use the public wells, so their life was made miserable by the upper caste community. So the Constitution of India recognized that, and they provided reservation on the basis of the social backwardness and historical wrongdoings that have been committed against them. So that was the objective. But now the government have come up with a concept in which they have provided reservation solely on the basis of the income criteria. So Supreme Court asked the government that you have arrived at an 8 lakh figure, which is the process committee panel that you have set up to come to this particular limit of 8 lakh, or how do you come up with this particular number? Now government is not filing any of the affidavit regarding this. So there were persons who basically in the Supreme Court bench who were annoyed with this. They said to the government that do you want to revisit the 8 lakh rupee criteria or what you want to do? Why you are not filing the affidavit? So that is the current happening that is currently going on. We will talk about this particular topic in the polity, that is the 103rd Constitution Amendment, because in 2018 it was applied, and what were the objectives that the government have given, we will also debate about that. But I hope you got a basic understanding that what is 103rd Constitution Amendment. Okay, further moving on. The next one is UK India joint military exercises to keep peace and stability. So name of the exercise is Konkan Shakti. And it will demonstrate basically how close they are to one another. That is not important. You just have to remember the exercise name. And I suggest you that you make a separate page for the name of the exercises, because somewhere you will find one or two exercises that will be asked in the examination. So it is handy enough to keep a separate list of the exercises. So we can talk about UK India. The exercise is called as Konkan Shakti. There are other kind of exercises that are between India and UK. Okay? So Samudra Shakti, these are some of the things that are currently existing with regard to the India and UK foreign relations. ठीक है, तो इसके बारे में तो बाद में बात करेंगे, बट एक सेपरेट पेज बना लीजिए जिसपे यू note down all the list of the military exercises among different nations. ठीक है, तो इस बात को ध्यान रखिएगा. Further moving on, the next article is scripting history. So this is a type of a praise of the Modi government. Usually the Hindu paper does not do it, but this time it have to also recognize the fact that the government have basically provided a multitudes of efforts with regard to the people who were also involved in that particular endeavor. If you see, we have reached 100 crore doses with regard to the vaccination status, and as of now there have been 75% of the people who have been administered with one dose and 31% of the adult who are fully vaccinated. So almost 31% of the population is fully vaccinated in India, and that is I think a type of a cheers. We should congratulate ourselves that we have been helping the government, and also the government is accommodating enough to basically provide a leeway or create a type of organizations so that everybody is vaccinated. Now you have to thank the nurses, frontline workers. The vaccine availability has been made by the institute. There have been initial hesitancy among the people with regard to the effect of the vaccine, but it was basically contained by the second wave majorly. And in the second wave, when people died, there have been problem with regard to the problem that was to the vaccine hesitancy was turned down, because they were not. After that, there were lot many people who were basically coming forward to take the vaccination, and they were online booking. So there was surge in booking because people were afraid what happened by the devastating effect of the second wave. So that has been the case. The next one is engaging the Taliban. So that is another issue. I hope you remember. Already we have talked about that Afghanistan is a situation in which there is a party that is called as Taliban, which have taken over. Now this party Taliban is basically not a very good friend of India, and India did not find any bonhomie with this particular organizations over the year. Please remember, Taliban is the organization which have kidnapped one aeroplane in 1997, which was taken to Kandahar and then to Kabul. And the release of Zakiru Mahan Lakwi and another person name I am forgetting, that is the head of the Lashkar-e-Taiba in Pakistan. So that has been the two people who were released at that particular time as demanded by the Taliban. Now please remember, India does not engage with the organizations that have any furrow with regard to the terrorist activities, but this time India has changed the approach only because of the ground realities that it is currently seeing in Afghanistan. Now you have to see what are the objective of India basically to engage with Taliban, to whom it did not want to. Firstly, India had made huge investments of worth $20 billion in that. And secondly, there is a more important concern with regard to the regional security, prevention of land uses for terrorist activities, and also the internal security paradigm of India, because we already know if Taliban make a good partnership with Pakistan, Pakistan will basically intend to make damage on India. So that is one thing that India want to basically avoid. Other than that, Taliban is also worried about the situations at home, because You can capture a country, but running a country is a whole different ball game. So you have to provide economy, you have to provide earning to your persons, you have to provide them food, jobs, facilities. Only then the people will basically work day in and day out with regard to the uh, small, you can say, or basically you can say that the people can only be contained if the needs are taken care of, and the caring of the needs is needed to be taken by the government of that present country. Okay. Now, please remember, for the stability, they are also ready to basically form an inclusive government that will cooperate with the people and that will basically be seeking, because as they need money, as they need food, as they need aid, vaccines, and all other things that are currently needed to be stabilize the country of Afghanistan, they basically seek help from all the quarters. Okay. But the problem is Taliban have said that we will cooperate with India, we will basically not allow, or whatever the concerns of India, we are basically able to listen to them and work on them. We want a healthy relationship with our neighbors and not the Taliban of the past that we earlier were. So that is the thing. But the question is, will the Taliban walk the talk? They have said, but will they walk on that particular things that they are saying? That is the thing that is needed to be basically uh, debated of. Okay. The next article is squaring off again in Himalayan heights. So this is a very nicely written article. If you do not know anything about the India-China relation, this is the article that you basically should decide. So he starts by saying that right now there have been aggressive statement on either side of India and China that both are making, and it does not make us believe that the disengagement between the two nations is coming anytime sooner. So we are into this particular thing for a long haul, and our soldiers are also suffering at the highest borders. There is still deployment of extra men on the border, but there have been some disparities between the two nations too. So Sushant Singh says that as we see, China have a major modern infrastructure, they have more capability, and they will have more resources with regard to the less resources along the Indian side. We may have countered them with regard to the deployment of soldiers on the either side of the border, but if it in a long-term warfare we have to be dealing with China, we will be falling short with regard to the various capital and the modernization that is needed. Other than that, what PLA is doing, PLA is basically asserting influence, and they are basically using influence at different places and different situations that we need to do. Other than that, what could be the possible aggressiveness of the PLA army? So already we know that PLA have gotten the Navy and the Air Force. The Navy and the Air Force are basically taking care of Taiwan and the South China Sea. So they are useful over there. PLA army can only be useful if it is bordering the area of the border. So that's why they are aggressive with regard to the patrolling, with regard to the incursions, or with regard to the things that are needed to happen. So that is why the only country that is bordering China right now, because Nepal and Bhutan, if they basically start a war against them, it is basically will conduct a type of a negative effect on the image of China, that it is basically muscling the smaller countries. But India is a big country, and with all the other countries, it already had solved all the border disputes. So only the border dispute with India is there that is needed to be revived and needed to be taken care of. Okay, so that is the one thing that is needed to be taken care of. Okay, तो इस बात को ध्यान रखिए. अब इसके बाद अगर if we talk about India is suboptimal power to China, so what we can do? We can basically counterbalance it with the help of the other major powers. But will that be effective in the long term? Whether we need to develop our intel capacities or not, that is the one other thing. Other than that, we need to basically revive the economy. तो फिर ये politics में चले गए. But of course, whatever he says is true. So we need to basically revive the economy. We need to basically provide a type of a headway that could be created. So if economy revives, then only we will be able to basically provide the resources for the modernization of our Army, Navy and Air Force. And already we have seen in the case of the Air Force, in the worst case scenario, if the two-front war India had to fight, then we need at least 60 squadron of Air Force jets. And right now we are at 30. Already the panel, that is the parliamentary committee, which have been made for the defense purposes or sharing of the equipments and the machinery, that have said that the vintage high share of the equipments and machinery is basically worrisome with regard to the defense of India. So we have to basically provide an alternative resources either on loan, either on alliances or either on upfront payments, so that the capital shortage that Indian Navy, Air Force and Army is facing should be taken care of. ठीक है, ये इसमें चीजें हैं मेन. The next is, should privatization take off Air India sale? तो आर्टिकल पढ़ लीजिएगा. These are only comments and you need not to go into the details of it. These are only comments and only needed to be understood in the basis of the comments. The next one is the poor conditions of the protectors. So this is an argument with regard to the CRPF. I hope you remember yesterday, I think you would have seen the images of the police at different police stations in which they have commemorated this particular part. This is 21st October and there was a pitched battle that was fought against some policemen with the people in Ladakh, and this is unhinging loyalty to the nation which was basically propagated. And as the CRPF men, they were killed, captured at the Hot Spring Memorial. There is a memorial in which it is written, when you go home, tell them from us, for your tomorrow we will give our today. We gave our today. Now, please remember why this article is important, because CRPF has been complaining that there are not lot many benefits that are extended to the CRPF people. They work in the highest of the hostile environments in Jammu and Kashmir, in the left-wing extremism and in the northeast area where the insurgency is high. But they are not accommodated the benefits that are provided to the Army, Air Force or the Navy. The canteens are not provided, the securities, facilities and the other things that are provided to the Army are not provided to the different armed forces. It is high time basically to recognize their efforts and contribution with regard to the internal security of India, and we basically have to recognize their valor in terms of the protecting the nation and also extend the benefits that are basically desired by them. तो ये इन्होंने कहा, इसके ज्यादा डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, Pakistan retained on FATF grey list again. So what is a grey list? FATF is a Financial Action Task Force. What does Financial Action Task Force do? Financial Action Task Force tells the country that whether this particular nation is safe to invest your money in or not. ठीक है, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मान लीजिए आपको किसी को लोन देना होगा and you do not know the where about that particular person, you will ask 3 or 4 other persons that whether this person is good or not. I hope this is clear. Now, please remember there is FATF grey list that is existing. Now, this FATF grey list has 2 lists. One is blacklist, one is grey list. Grey list is whenever it is a type of action-based mechanisms that are needed to be followed by the countries with regard to the money laundering and the terrorist financing. तो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मान लीजिए आपने किसी देश में इन्वेस्ट करा, अब ये देश डिसाइड करेगा टू विच दैट पर्टिकुलर मनी शुड गो टू. सो if you are not following the laws, you will give it to the terrorist activities. So FATF grey list basically have said that there are investigations. Actually उन्होंने पाकिस्तान को एक 27 पॉइंट की एक एजेंडा लिस्ट बना के दी, and they said to the Pakistan that see, if you want to get away from the grey list, you have to complete all these 27 agendas. Pakistan have completed 24 of them, but there are still 3 or 4 agendas that are yet to be completed in full. So it had been argued that they have been basically not performing according to the things that are needed to be done. So that's why they will still remain in the grey list. Okay, इसके बारे में बाद में पढ़ेंगे what is a grey list and how FATF work, but अभी के लिए इसको इतना समझ लीजिए. The next one is the WHO UNICEF failed vaccine milestone. Same. The next one is government failed to measure scale of hunger to tailor its responses. So this is acquisition on the government that experts says that firstly the government was not able to measure the scale of the hunger that was basically prevalent in the country. There is no survey, no data or no scheme of things, collection of data that they have taken. They have simply provided a response in form of free food and other activities, but that was also not sufficient enough. Okay, तो ये इन्होंने जो था इसके बारे में कहा. The next one is the no respect for Navalny Sakharov Prize. This is set by Kremlin. So Kremlin is from where the Russian government operates. They have said that although they respect the body, the European Union decision to basically provide the award to the Navalny. Navalny is basically the main opposition of Russian president, and currently he is in prison for money laundering and the other cases, financial fraud. ठीक है, तो उसको ध्यान रखिएगा. Next one is the need strategic reserve of coal and gas. Now, please remember the states have been asked to lift hydropower capacity, load factor, and we have to basically be prepared for the 10 years in the future. Companies are dependent on the power and energy, and we cannot basically energy is a strategic sector that is very important for the country. So energy is a strategic tool for diplomacy, and we can use that particular tool. ठीक है, तो इसको ध्यान रखिएगा. कैबिनेट ओके इंप्लीमेंटिंग गतिशक्ति इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. और राइजिंग प्राइस रिस्ट्रेन कंज्यूमर मूड इन फेस्टिव सीजन, इसको सिर्फ पढ़िएगा कि अगर प्राइसेस इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं तो डेफिनेटली जो लोग हैं दे इंटेंड टू बाय लेस, एंड मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन देयर कुड बी less sale during the festive seasons. However, there are some companies who are gaining a lot. So, for example, the online retail sector have gained a lot. Other than that, online gaming sector have regained a lot. Okay, so there are some sectors who have regained a lot. Okay, so I think that is it for today.